Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your April 2025 tarot card reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with an oracle card. So what is it that Sagittarius needs to know for April 2025? We have a card that says a new start is coming, which is good, right? We're still in Aries season. Aries and Taurus, this particular time of year, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, we really like new beginning energy. We like things to bloom and blossom. We like things to come to life. So whether it's a project or a new relationship or a new financial opportunity or a new living place or whatever, this is a chance for you to really embrace the here and now. I wouldn't try to push too hard, and I certainly wouldn't try to look for instant gratification. I think one of the things to keep in mind is to be fully present and engaged with what's going on in the here and now, rather than pushing so far into the future that it's doesn't make sense for you today, kind of thing. I mean, you can have goals and stuff, but we want to be really engaged with what's going on right in the here and now. And we want to be showing up as much as we can on a day-to-day basis for the tasks at hand. We have the abundant universe will provide with the buffalo spirit. I haven't seen that card in a while. It's been a long time since I've seen the buffalo spirit. So that's a very special card. And it certainly feels like whatever you need, the universe will give to you. Whatever amount of money, whatever resource, whatever person, whatever connection you need to get yourself to where you need to go. Now, I'm not saying that it will show up in full, like exactly the way you think it's going to show up. We have to be very open right now. We don't want to be so locked in to this idea of the way we think it's going to look that we miss out on opportunities, right? It's like someone who is desperately in love with someone who doesn't love them back, right? This kind of unrequited love situation, desperately asking the universe for love, and then this amazing person comes into their life and they don't even recognize it because they're so fixated on this one thing. So we want to make sure that we're open to any and all possibilities, and we're open to explore possibilities as well, because I think what the universe will give you will not look the way you expect it to look. Okay, so the more adventurous you can be, the better. So let's see what comes through here for Sagittarius with the tarot cards. Okay, beautiful. Actually, the Sagittarius card is showing up there with, oh, beautiful way to start April. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, which suggests, again, a new start of some kind with the new start is coming oracle card here. While the Ace of Cups is usually something that is wanted, something that I think you'll look forward to and that you will be quite happy about. And actually, Knight of Wands, he seems to be diving straight in. So it seems like right out of the gate in April, you're kind of all in on something. And what I like so much about the Ace of Cups is the resonance. So there's a lot of gratitude and a lot of appreciation here where the Ace of Cups is. So not only are you tapping into a new adventure, are you taking new opportunities? Now, keep in mind the Ace of Cups is just a potential. It's just kind of something, a seed. That's all it is. But seeds can grow depending on how much we nurture. And I think the Knight of Wands is absolutely willing to nurture the heck out of that Ace of Cups, because it is something that I think you want. And when you get something that you want gratefully and appreciatively, you tend to take very, very good care of it. And I am seeing I definitely not seeing you taking anything for granted. Certainly not. And because of that, I think that Ace of Cups offers you a lot of freedom, the kind of freedom that you crave, the kind of freedom that you seek. And from this Ace of Cups, I think a lot of different things will bloom. I think there will be financial opportunities that come from this. There will be travel opportunities. There will be perhaps romantic opportunities, things that make your life better. Again, not all at once. This is just a seed. So it takes a while for that seed to sprout and blossom and bloom and provide fruit and all of that. It takes a while for that to happen. But I think you understand. Like I say, you're not taking this for granted. You understand what this is and you understand the impact that it can have in your life. So when we get the Knight of Wands, you are all in. And actually with the Magician too, I mean, this is kind of like, well, this is a number one, right? Magician, number one. And this is an ace, also a number one. So we have like this kind of new spark that's on both sides of you. So I think you just kind of have this whole new spark quality right out of the gate, including this card right here with the new start is coming. So the Magician not only amplifies the Ace of Cups, making it bigger or more prominent or more obvious, but it also brings in other types of new things. Okay, but again, the Magician is just that process of what happens when you get inspired. And it's just like a new idea clicks and it enters your mind. But you can still do nothing at this point, right? It's possible that you're blessed with all these aces, all these ones, all these new starts, and still do nothing. And I think some Sagittarians will still do nothing, and they will not see any progress this month at all, because there's a lot of free will here. And there has to be a lot of acknowledgement of like, oh, I'm feeling inspired, right? And oh, I have to put forth effort to my Ace of Cups. I have to nurture it. I have to care about it. And I have to provide the proper environment for it to grow, which means there might be some adjustments that you have to make, right? Because if you have a seed, that seed in particular is going to require a specific environment that may be different than a different seed. Right? So if you had a different seed 2 years ago and that grew and that bloomed, now you have a new one, maybe the soil needs to be different. Maybe the amount of sunlight needs to be different. Maybe it needs to be watered a little bit more or less, right? So we have to adjust according to what type of seed this is, which you're fully capable of, obviously. It's just a matter of doing it. Knight of Wands, capable of doing it, but there may be some Sagittarians out there, like if you're cross-watching, that may have all of this potential and do nothing with it, just flat tire. Total flat tire, okay? So you have to make sure that you're ready to roll. All right, beautiful Emperor. All righty, so one of the things that's happening this month, well, a couple things. We want to keep in mind that throughout April, Neptune will officially be in Aries, which is a huge deal because he's been in Pisces since 2011, 2012. So now he's finally moving into a new sign. And there's going to be a lot of themes regarding our identities here. For you in the 5th house, there's also a ton of creativity that's going to start to really channel through. But initially, we have to kind of dissolve these crystallized identities and concepts of self so that new ones can emerge. Now, also this month, Venus is going to be stationing direct on April 12th. And on April 12th, she stations direct conjunct Saturn. So like within a degree of Saturn, it's extremely tight, it's extremely powerful, and she's just going to stop. And Saturn is going to bring the Saturnine energies to the forefront of our lives, which means structure and power and ambition and desire for achievement and success. It might bring authority figures to the table as well. It might bring new levels of mastery, okay? I feel like this is kind of a big jump, and it's a very fast jump from like the first week and a half of April where everything is like boom, kind of coming in quick, fast. There's a lot of movement here, and then boom, all of a sudden we're at the Emperor level. There's like a fast graduation going on here, and I think that that Venus stationing direct is going to really force you to be in a position of authority and power within your own life and to take leadership towards something, hopefully toward the Ace of Cups. If it's not you, it might be that there is someone else coming in and establishing dominance. And I think the weaker, well, I don't want to say weaker, but the Sagittarians that may feel that tendency to not do anything up here, right? Probably not you, but maybe some other ones. This is going to be outsourced. It's going to be someone else. Like if you're not going to establish authority within your own life, someone else is going to come in and do it for you. And that's probably not going to be ideal because you're going to want freedom to roam. You're going to want the liberation and the breathing room. But put an emperor in that space and he's going to fill up the whole room and there's not going to be enough room for you. So you have to take authority and leadership in your own life. You have to start taking those big steps. Hold yourself accountable, be responsible, show up consistently. And I think that's a huge theme this month as well. I'm seeing that like one sign after the next as I'm doing all these zodiac sign readings. It's like this consistent theme. And every month there's always a theme. But I really think our dedication to the day-to-day, our dedication to the schedule and the routine and the tasks at hand, that is where the success is going to be found. Because we need to understand that a seed needs to take root. And it needs to sprout roots. And before it can sprout above the soil, it has to have some kind of outreach down below. And that kind of has to be equal, up and down. And if you're not establishing roots here, or you're not sinking your energy into that Ace of Cups, and you're not really grasping onto that, you're flimsy. And I don't, it's going to be very hard to step into the Emperor's shoes if you're flimsy. So even though the Knight of Wands is usually pretty airy, okay, well, I don't want to, maybe airy is the wrong word because it's you're a fire element. Maybe it's kind of wildfiery, kind of like wildfire. It's kind of all over the place. It doesn't mean you can't step into something bigger. And I think right now you're going to have to, if you want that Ace of Cups to really survive. And I think you do. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, think that you do. Like I say, the abundant universe, you are not taking the abundant universe for granted. And you're not just going to let this opportunity slip you by, or slip by you, rather. So you step into this authority and this power, and what I see actually during this time is actually quite a bit of patience. And it's kind of like waiting for a seed to sprout. You know, you may water it every day and maybe you're worried like, oh, it's not sprouting. Maybe I'm watering it too much. Am I doing this too much? Am I not doing this enough? Does it need more of this or that? And so this is the kind of waiting, and I'm sensing a little bit of anxiousness during this time. Now, we want to keep in mind that this area right here, these two cards, kind of coincides with like April 12th with the Venus stationing direct, and then also April 16th, which is when Mercury re-enters Aries, which is where he started his retrograde as well, same as Venus. And so when Mercury hits Aries, I think that's kind of when things are going to start coming to you a little bit, but it's still slow. It's not very fast with the Three of Wands. There's always an element of patience there. You may be feeling impatient though, and I think that's kind of the Eight of Swords. Now, as we progress a little bit further down the line, on the 18th, just a couple days later, that's when Mars re-enters Leo. Because keep in mind, Mars has been retrograde. He's been moving direct in Cancer, and now he's finally moving out of Cancer and moving into Leo, which is where he began his retrograde. And I'm looking at, and that's ninth house activity for you, Mars in the ninth. So I feel like that's going to be a moment where there's a strong desire to just bust out and go. But you can't, because there's like reasons that you can't see or understand. The universe is pacing you probably. It's like it's just not the right time. There's something about timing with all of this. And it's like your hands are tied behind your back a little bit and you don't have a lot of power or control in terms of how things it's like you can have all the power in the world when it comes to providing for that seed, but you cannot make it sprout any faster than it's ready to sprout. And I think that's maybe where the impatience comes in, because you can't reach into the soil and yank it up, because that's just going to pull the whole thing out and that's going to be pointless, So again, it all comes back to the nurturing and care about the Ace of Cups. It's your project. It's about the care of the goal and the care of the desire that you have and the commitment that you have to seeing it to fruition. But I think it might get a little frustrating during this time because you can't progress past where it's ready to progress. And so, again, in your authority with the Emperor, you're going to have to tap into that kind of universal wisdom and say, well, when it's ready, the universe will provide. And I think that's maybe something that you have to continually come back to. The universe will provide, the universe will provide, because it will, and it does. It did, and it will again. It's just right now, in the middle of April, things are just kind of a little bit tacky, okay? So what happens around here, not only does Mars move into Leo, but we also have the very next day, on the 19th, the Sun moving into Taurus. So as we proceed into Taurus season, we have the Devil, Hierophant, and Two of Wands. Okay, so Taurus season does seem to pack a little bit of a punch. Taurus season is 6th house activity for you. So again, we're kind of focused on a lot of that day-to-day mundane. It's really boring. Like I'm not trying to sexy it up. Like it's not a very sexy approach to things. But it's foundational. 6th house is so important. 6th house is literally the reason why we fail or succeed. It's like, what are our habits? Basically, how do we spend our time? What do we do, on a regular basis? What is it that we do? That's 6th house. So the Devil tells me of your commitment. I mean, we could go negative with the Devil. I don't feel the negativity coming from him this month at all. He doesn't feel like toxic ego and all. Sometimes he comes across like that. I just really don't feel it this way. It feels more like you are locking in. It's like a serious dedication. I'm in it. All aligning up here with the Ace of Cups and the Emperor as well. You can't lie that this column right here is extremely potent. An Emperor and a Devil. I mean, these are very strong figures, archetypes, energies, and they all apply to this little seed, to this little Ace of Cups. And this is how you tell the universe that you are ready. This is how you tell the universe that now is the time. I'm ready, I'm dedicated, I'm focused, I'm gonna work. One thing you don't want, I will kind of go a little bit negative here with this. The one thing you don't want is pride, okay? Or arrogance or anything like that. Or to be like, I don't want entitlement. I was going to say deserving, but deserving is good. Deserving can be good. Depends on how you treat it. If you treat deserving as like being worthy and have value as a human being, then yes. But deserving as like entitlement, not so much. Entitlement for no reason, not so much. And I'm just kind of getting the feeling that some Sagittarians, again, probably not any of you watching this, but there will be Sagittarians out there that get a little arrogant, they get a little selfish, they get a little impulsive and impatient, and they say, it's mine, it should be mine, it should grow, I need it now. It's kind of like putting money into the market and expecting it to grow to $1 million like overnight. And so you start, I don't know, leveraging a lot, or you start doing bigger and bigger, and you start making stupider mistakes, or dumber mistakes rather. And stupider, is that even a word? More stupid? I don't even know. You get dumber mistakes. Simply because you're like, I want more, I want more, I want more, I want more. Because there can be a real sinkhole with the devil sometimes. And we may witness some Sagittarians do that. So the goal here is to not do that, but to take that energy that you have, the wanting energy, and channel it in a productive, hardworking way. That is where Sagittarius is going to absolutely thrive. And when I look at the Hierophant and the Emperor are also quite similar, because they're both grounded and rooted in their heart space, right? Where the soul is in that seat of the soul, if I can use the Eckhart's whole book concept, right? Is in the seat of the soul. And it's rooted there, and it's not floundering, and it's not lost, and it's not all over the place, and it's patient. I honestly think there's a contrast between impatience and patience. And your bigger self just is like, just chill. It's all good. It's all going to be great. It's all going to unfold beautifully. But then there's that lower part that we all have that's like, but I want it now. I'm going to feel safer if I have it now. That kind of deal. So yes, there's a little bit of inner conflict maybe, but I think the Hierophant is so much more powerful than any kind of egoic impulse. And Taurus season, slow and steady wins the race. Two of Wands, it's about visualization. And it's about dedication, similar to the Devil. I often kind of see the Two of Wands as being really business oriented, strong business acumen, no funny business whatsoever. It's not about distractions. It's about focus, focus, focus. Because you have a vision of the world, and this Ace of Cups is a part of it. You've gotten a taste of it, so you know that it's a possibility. You know that it can grow. You know that it's real. And now you just have to genuinely spend time envisioning your world surrounding the Ace of Cups, and have that faith that it will come to fruition. We need to understand where we are in the cycle, which is just the beginning. The problem is that people often mistake the beginning, the seed planting stage, as the harvest stage. And they think that it should be the same, that a seed planting and a harvest doesn't require stretches of time. So we are in the seed planting stage, nothing more. So we need to treat it that way so that we can have long-term success. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and pull out the clarifiers. I love this reading for you, though, Sagittarius. I think it's really beautiful. So let's see what comes through. So we're going to pull out a bunch of clarifiers. Okay, we're going to talk for like 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. We're going to open every single one of these up. We're going to get a lot deeper into the story and get as much detail as we possibly can for you to help you as you navigate through the month. So if you want to join me for that, you're welcome to. The link is in the description box in the comment thread down below for the comprehensive. Okay, so let's see what comes through with the Ace of Cups. What is it that Sagittarius needs to know here? The World card. Eight of Coins. There's the work. King of Wands. I love that for you so much. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Three of Cups. I'm sorry, Three of Coins. King of Coins. Ace of Knight of Swords. Three of Cups. What else for the Magician? The Hermit. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So now we take a look at the Emperor. Ooh, I like that a lot. Knight of Wands. That's you again. The Tower. That's definitely Venus conjunct Saturn. Definitely, definitely. And then Eight of Wands. Strength. Another Magician. Fool. Judgment. Another Devil. So there's definitely a link going on there. Wheel of Fortune, beautiful. Another Ace of Cups. See, that Devil is not scary. It is not scary at all. Even Ten of Swords I like. Okay. Hierophant, we have the Star, Seven of Swords, Justice, Four of Wands, love the stability there, Ten of Coins, Seven of Coins, absolutely beautiful way to end this reading. This is where we're going to pick up. So again, if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Hope you have an amazing April, and I'll talk to you soon.